Your world has trained and trained all peoples, particularly women, to externalize the power of their force and to seek truth externally. Letting the courage of the love within you guide you, making your name known in this world by saying no more to illusion, to oppression, to tyrannical forces across your voice, your truth, your wisdom. Relationships may fall away. Desires will change as you land more and more fully into this expression of who you really are.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Galactic Guidance, where today we have a very special guest, Becc Sahasrara. And Becc is the channel for the goddess Isis. And that's going to be happening in today's session. We're going to find out a little bit about Beck's story as to how she started channeling. And then she will be channeling the goddess Isis. Becc is a speaker, spiritual embodiment teacher, psychic channel, feminine power mentor, and a force of nature. With over a decade of experience serving in the spiritual and personal development field, Becc has built an international business where she teaches what it means to be spiritually free and living a life of deep magic, feminine magnetism, empowerment, and true freedom. Becc speaks to audiences from her lived experience of overcoming and healing the impacts of extreme trauma, which included multiple near-death and spiritual experiences. Becc believes it is your sacred right to remember the essence of who you are. Welcome back.
Hi, everyone. Hi, lovely. Thank you for having me.
So excited to have you here today, and I am fascinated about your story, Becc. So tell us about, first of all, was there a life before channeling, or is this something you've always done?
I was born with all the psychic gifts, including channeling, so clairvoyance, where you see things, and hearing, spirit guides and energy, and this sort of thing. And channeling was just an extended version of being able to hear it. I grew up in a very extremely abusive home environment, and there was a cult aspect to the trauma that I experienced. And so within that, some of my gifts were accelerated by that in a kind of unhealthy way, but used for the channeling capacity. So I have always been channeling since I was as young as I can remember. However, not all of it was healthy channeling. And then when I became free of that situation, which was around fully free when I was about 25-ish or something, I started to sort of delve more in my own way into my spiritual gifts, and noted that I already had this capacity for it. And I would just ask to be shown how to connect or how to be pure in that connection. And because I could hear spirit and stuff, my guides and spiritual mentors, they taught me how to how to heal myself and do all of that work, but also how to channel in a really healthy way. I
Beautiful.
also
Can I
I
just
read
ask
it.
you?
Yeah,
Sorry, can I just
yeah,
ask you? When you say, I just want to clarify because I
yeah.
just want to make it clear for people listening. So when you say spiritual mentors, you actually mean off-world beings. You don't actually mean people that are living as humans on Earth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys know I'm talking about interdimensional experiences. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about my own spirit guides, which we all
Perfect.
have, and I just have the natural ability to work with them, hear them, um, and then they taught me when I started asking to be taught. They would train me in how to be better and clearer, and also they trained me how to heal myself, and also in that, because I have such a, channeling's my strongest clair gift, my strongest psychic gift. It's so easy and natural for me to just channel like anything and everything if I'm not in control of it. So when I started learning with them and healing with them, they would, even to teach me, they would be coming into my body. And then over, I'm 33 now, and that was when I was 25. And over years, I became more and more healed and more professional, I guess, in the work. And now
Mm,
here I am.
love it. It's interesting that you say that basically with you, you've always channeled, and that's because it's never been quashed out of you. And I know you say that's because, you were born into a cult kind of situation where they used your gift not for the greatest good, but
Mm.
because they did that, then you always had access to that special gift. So do you think that everybody has access to that gift, but it does just get programmed out of us because of the things that are told to us by society, by our parents, by um, our
Mm.
schools?
Yeah, definitely. Everybody has a natural gift for psychic ability, including channeling, because it's really just an expansion of our normal senses, right? To hear, to see in another dimension. And yeah, society definitely sort of, been a real push over many, many years to say that, to come away from spirituality, to come away from our sovereignty, and to remember, those gifts. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, Beck, tell me about your channeling. So, you said that you can basically channel anyone and everyone. So, who have you channeled?
um I've channeled and connected to my own spirit guides, my higher self, Jesus or Yahweh, Mary Magdalene, Sekhmet, goddess Sekhmet, goddess Isis, what could be considered Pleiadian beings or Venusian beings, angels, the different archangels, sometimes just like certain feminine ancestors or guides from my lineage, lots of things.
Beautiful. And so, do you just call them in specifically, or do they just arrive? How does it work? How does it work?
Um, for me, the beings arrive as I would heal, and like whatever issue you're moving through, the ones that have that particular skill, or that's their theme. Like if you're healing your feminine wounds, related to that, Isis might come in for you. If you're going more into your feminine power, like Kali goddess would come in, to me.
Mm,
I would also have beings that, specific ones, if they said, we want you to share a message to the collective, they'll come through when they want to.
beautiful, beautiful. Do you feel like you've just got this incredible access to wisdom on tap?
um, I mean, I know that, but it doesn't always feel like that. Like, yes, but you still have your human, I guess, blocks and challenges and all that. So even when I'll channel for help or something, if I still have that wound or whatever, I'll just be like, no, and I won't do the guidance, because you have your ego, and then yeah. So yes and no.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. So it's there,
Yeah.
but your ego still gets in the way because you're still human, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, can you give us an example of a time when you were really surprised with the message that you heard?
One of my clients or someone will ask a question about some like crazy metaphysic complicated thing about the universe, right? And then I'll just have one of my male guides, that's like his thing, and he'll come in and he'll say like, he was talking to me once about how we're all transducers and electromagnetism and like the charge of the 6 points and like all these like those sorts of things where it gets really metaphysically complicated, but it comes out of me. I'm like, how did I know that? but it's always, and then sometimes I'll like look it up, what he said about electromagnetism. I looked it up on like science papers or whatever, and it's completely accurate.
I
So
love it. I
yeah.
love it. I love it. So, we're going to have an experience with you today where you do channel somebody.
Mhm.
Who do you think that's going to be?
Well, I really feel Goddess Isis around us right now. Um, I think she's such a beautiful, I don't know, like soft but powerful energy. I feel that around us.
Okay, I love it. I love it. So, what needs to happen for you to get into that state? How do you prepare yourself for that?
Um, well, at different times I prepare in different ways, but right now I would just, I'll go when we're ready. I'll go quiet in a bit, and I'll be connecting to my heart. And if anyone wants to channel, that's what I always recommend first: is you connect to your heart, because then you're always in a good vibration. Um, and then I basically have an internal process of stepping out of the way for Isis to come through. Um, and sometimes there's a little bit of a transition where it's moving from hearing to speaking. Um, and yeah, she'll just come through in whatever way. And I will be at least semi present here. So you can still talk to me if you need to talk to me. Yeah?
Beautiful. So, can I talk to her?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Mhm.
Beautiful. So, whenever you're ready, Beck,
Okay.
let's do it.
Listening closely to the song within, you may hear the quiet of your own vibration. Sisters gather into the resounding force of light and sound within you. That is my holy name, and so it is you. At a time in your collective where the earth has come to a standstill, a cross point, it is the initiation of women who will begin her rebirth, who will resound her true name across this earth. And as you hear these words, you will feel the resounding force within your own womb space, within your own body, transforming and reclaiming, transforming and letting go, breaking free of chains of eons of disruption and chaotic energy towards your full force. Lifetime after lifetime, you have walked with your feet onto the earth bare, listening for that sacred sound, honoring and worshipping in secret caves when you could. In your holy moments of your own Isis, Iris, your eye, the tears that have been wept of women, not understanding that this entire time you have not been alone. For the love of the mother can never die, that which you are. And there's an image here to share with you to share with everyone of the Eye of Horus. And Isis speaks of how this eye is the feminine eye, and it is the truth.
Can I ask Isis a question?
Mhm.
This truth that we are all asked to live and express, Can you give us any guidance as to how we do that?
When you seek for the answers, and you must look within. When you seek for the answers, and you must look within. When you seek for the answers, and you must look within. Each time you do, this builds up propensity, life force, energy of the temple within. How to go about this is to question illusion around you, to focus solely on your own magnetism, your center, you, your being, treating her as holy temple, treating her as the initiation that you need, the force of the life of the goddess, your truth that sets you free is within. Your world has trained and trained all peoples, particularly women, to externalize the power of their force and to seek truth externally. Letting the courage of the love within you guide you, making your name known in this world by saying no more to illusion, to oppression, to tyrannical forces across your voice, your truth, your wisdom. Relationships may fall away. Desires will change as you land more and more fully into this expression of who you really are. It is a solitary experience for the priestess within at times, so that she can become holy in her name and become one with God within. Too often when this transformation is seeking to occur, the discomfort causes the outward path to be yearned for. Yet at that very moment, the Isis within you breathes and asks you for permission to expand deeper into the unknown so you may find your knowing.
To connect to the truth of who we are, is this a process that we sit back and allow it to unravel? Or is this something that we consciously or unconsciously need to do?
The learning is in both. The unraveling is a sacred, holy process that cannot be unwalked. It must be lived. The allowing of this process, the ease through which this process occurs, is granted when there is brought consciousness, awareness to the path, and even unconditional love for your own unconsciousness. It is both.
Thank you. Just wondering, since I've got you here, is there any personal message you've got for me that I'm sure others listening to this message would also resonate with?
To know your truth is to know who you are through deep ownership and commitment to that essence that you vibrate at, you already vibrate at. Until you are fully expressed in that essence, you will be opening up doorways and pathways. Doors will be opened up for you to become more fully in that flow, where there is your sense of consistency within that you seek. To honor your process without resistance, surrender to that flow of reconnection to who you know yourself to be. And at the same time, training the muscle to let go and let go and let go, and to say yes to these doorways that appear before you. It is all you must do. The path of forgiveness, of self-forgiveness, is not conditional. It is ongoing and guiding, steadying the ground that you walk on through this initiation. Let yourself have that.
So what I'm hearing you say is that it's really just about walking the path, saying yes to the doors that will open in order for us to fully express the truth of who we really are and serve the mission that we're here to serve. Is that right?
Yes, and this is the simplicity is sometimes harrowing to the mind. The mind yearns for containment, for something to touch, hold. Yet the simplicity, if followed and trusted, it is also what the mind and you seek. It is the freedom.
Is there anything else that you would like to add? Anything at all?
I am here at this time upon your planet, under your feet, on the skin of the earth, and down into her bones, because there is a great initiation at this time for all women to remember their voice. It is your voice that will lead you. It is your voice that will lead you to the new experience of full feminine liberation. That is why, by going within and seeking the path inwardly, one becomes more powerful over time. Forces across this planet, upon this planet, will seek this to not be known, will ask you to change, will force you, if you allow, to diminish, to create a smallness of that power, of that voice within, because they know of the holiness of it. Women contain within them an essential feminine essence that is yearned for by all life. You may think, but who am I to do this, to have this? What does this mean? You are the holy daughter of Isis. You are the remembrance of our name, and you come for the lineages of women before you and the sisters in your holy line after. Let go of the systems, the inner belief systems, and those upon your world that seek to contain. Follow the path of expansion where there is openness, where you find yourself opening and soften, and then open and soften. You will find yourself home.
Thank you so much for that beautiful transmission.
Oh, okay.
How are you feeling, Becc? Tell me what it feels like before you go in, just before, during, and then after.
Oh, it's 333 on the timer, which is a number for ascension, everybody. Okay. Okay, so coming back is a bit challenging. When I first go in, as I say, there's a process of getting my mind to quieten and getting out of the way. And then I feel
How do you do that?
yeah.
We need to know that. How do you do that? How do you get your mind out of the way?
Well, it is a practice. Let me think. So now I just sort of close my eyes and I'm just being, and there's thoughts going, and then I'm like, okay, I'm out of the way for spirit. I'm out of the way, and it's like giving myself permission to just stop, like giving yourself permission to just be. And like sometimes when I was, because this is a skill now to go into it more quickly, but when you're first practicing it, it's sort of like a meditative, quick meditation, but it's like, can I allow everything that's present? So not fighting with the thoughts, because resistance builds resistance.
Uh-huh.
Can I like let them be there? Then can I choose to give my thoughts and my mind the permission to, like, it's okay, you don't have to do anything, like I'm just being, and nothing has to be different, because the thoughts go, and thoughts are a control process of our entire reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you can handle that, and then I sort of settle back, and then you have to kind of just trust what starts to come to you from that point.
Yeah.
And it may come as thoughts or sounds right away, or both. I feel energetically her frequency, and I feel it kind of in my body, and then I speak, and then I just speak, and I don't know what is going to be said, and then I just keep trusting the whole time.
Beautiful. I love that. How did you get yourself to trust that it was Isis and not you? How did you do that?
Um, Through making lots of mistakes in the beginning. um, you actually learn how to discern, right, between me, my mind, versus Isis, or versus intuition, um, by getting it wrong. So when you're learning and you get it wrong, um, you'll like ask your intuition or ask like a guide to say something, and then you'll get the message or you'll say it, and then that thing that you got will turn out to not be true, or something will happen to make you realize it wasn't right. And then you have a reference point for, okay, when it comes in this kind of feeling in my brain or in my body, or this language or some signpost, that means that it's probably my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do that again and enough that you get a feel for it, versus the times where you get something and then that thing happens, or that it's clear that it was right. You get a feel for that as well. So it's about feel. Does that make sense?
It does. And when she actually came in, I actually felt.
Yeah.
So immediately I felt her in my body. So I felt the energy from my
Yeah.
side as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because my whole frequency, not the whole thing, but the whole auric field gets sort of consumed or overlaid by another's frequency.
Mm-hmm.
So you should feel at least majority of
Mm-hmm.
her, like you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I did. And
Yeah.
then when you came out of it, does it feel like you're coming out of a dream? Can you remember what was said?
I can remember parts. In this case, I remember parts of what was said. Um, it feels like, yeah, it's kind of like waking up. Like if you know, when you, not just when you wake up normally, but when you have a dream, and if you've ever been woken up in the middle of a dream, like you're really deep in it, and then the
Mm-hmm.
alarm goes, and you're like, oh, it's so real. It's like that. And then for me, I have to really attune myself back into this dimension. I don't know if this might just be a me thing, but I can sometimes get confused about what dimension I'm in, even without channeling. So focusing on the third dimensional, like I have to touch the table and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
because when she's through, my consciousness, and again, might just be a me thing, but I've had experiences where I'm like in other timelines, and like trying to live my life at the same time, and like seeing a temple at the beach. And so that's a constant learning for me, how to be here anyway.
How fascinating. And you've got to tell us about that. Seeing another timeline.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Like, how do you do that when you meet people who, how do you do life when you're having this relationship with different dimensions and then you meet new people who don't believe in that? How do you do that? How do you mix that up?
Oh my gosh, I'm laughing because it's just such a thing I've been going through another layer of recently. Because you'll meet people and they don't remember anything, but you remember 6 lifetimes with them. Um, you you have to learn how to ground, right? So grounding, even in a very physical 3D sense, is hearing the sounds around you, feeling your senses, touch, sight, sound. Tuning into that is going to tune you into the third dimension because you pull yourself into your body. So you want to be. I had to learn how to come into my body when I've gone into different timelines in the past when I wasn't as healed as I am. Some people might say it's a bit of a psychosis experience, but I didn't lose myself because I knew what it was, right? I wasn't just like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
this is happening to me and this is crazy. And I asked for my guides for help. So I would be like walking around my house, but the stairs of my stairs, they were the temple stairs to my eyes. And like I just had to kind of like, okay, the temple stairs are here, but also I can hear my roommate. So you have to have at least one foot in the 3D, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
okay, and you can learn to manage like that. It's
Yeah.
when if you can't, I would, in the past would have problems focusing really at all in 3D. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love that.
Mm.
Just one final question about what Isis shared,
Mm.
which is all about really just like it's time for the feminine to
Mm.
rise into her true power by saying yes to the opportunities that come before her. And so it felt like there's nothing we actually need to consciously do. We just need to be present and aligned with the truth of who we are, and those doors will open. And all we need to do is say yes to step into our most expansive state. Is that the way you heard it as well?
Yeah, that's a good summary. Yeah. She's I felt her really focusing on how, yeah, the feminine, to come into what she's talking about, it's a process of keep coming back to me, keep coming back to what is the truth that I feel, what is the next step in my path that I feel, know, or sense. And then also the expansion part is like when there is opportunity or I create the opportunity to be bigger rather than smaller, which is the
Mm,
pattern of women, like, and the healing was we made ourselves small over and over and over to feel safe, is to say yes to the bigness.
mhm, mhm.
And in that way, that's the feminine force and ferocity, because she uses this word force of like, there's feminine healing, and then there's like embodying the feminine force, which is where we really get that powerful magnetism back in the womb space, um, and just our own overall magnetism and the incredible power. We haven't even like touched the iceberg. Yeah.
We have no idea. We have
Yeah.
no idea how powerful we really are.
Mm.
And yeah, there are so many systems and programs in play that, you know, make us, not make us, but where we go back into that old program of smallness and remembering who we truly are, which is big, powerful, divine beings of light.
Mm.
Beautiful, Beck. So tell our audience, how can they connect in with you?
Mm. Hmm. Okay, well, I have a website, beccsahasrara.com. you can follow me I'm on all the things. So, but my YouTube channel, I'd love for you guys to go check out. There's free channelings and content on there. It's just my name, Becc Sahasrara. And yeah, I'm on TikTok, on the Becc Sahasrara, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all just my name. So wherever you are, you can find me there.
Beautiful. I love it. And all the links are going to be down below. So thank you so much, Becc, for this beautiful transmission. It was really beautiful. I felt her energy as she came in. And thank you for courageously doing the work.
Thank you. You too. This podcast, this is medicine, to have the space for these conversations. Yeah.
Absolutely. Is there one final thing that you'd like to perhaps tell the people listening?
Let me feel into it. I feel that there's an importance here for everyone, whether you're a man or a woman watching and listening, to come into that relationship and power with the eye, which is this third eye, your inner vision for yourself. It means to come into that truth place, but to really, really trust it and to really actually live from that kind of perspective. Because when we do that, everything else unfolds. You don't need like Isis was talking about, we're like, what's the steps and stuff? It's like, if you've got truth, you've got everything. That's the path, right? Truth is the path. And so I think there's an invitation for everybody watching to own your own eye, right? And only focus on that and see through that and lead through that.
I love what you just said. If you've got truth, you've got everything.
Yeah.
You've got truth, you've got everything. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Becc.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to Galactic Guidance. We hope that the messages that you receive from the higher realms have brought you clarity, insight, and comfort. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Remember to stay connected to your own inner guidance and trust the journey ahead.